but once you've got a theology of this, it's of course much easier to talk about a set of moral principles than it is in a more liberal way of trying to develop those through a social dialogue. So that's as I say, an area where I thought I could have been sidetracked in this into quite a way, and it's an important issue, but I kind of skipped it in the end.
Yes,
of the paper.
I thought you were a bit sort of quiet on the Pope. That was my feeling. You know, compared with the paper,
Yeah.
I thought
The Pope and localism. I was looking for a
Yeah.
section
Okay.
on that.
I mean,
And also, humanist,
Yeah.
standard humanist moral ethics are not very different
No.
from religious ones. It's between the humanists and Ayn Rand, which is the more interesting.
Yeah.
Could I just raise? I mean, this is where I sort of come along with you. I think. I mean, I think back to traditions of this workers' education in this country.
Yeah.
And I think all the big names in that field, Temple, Tawney, Livingston, or a lot of the big names are all come out of Christian thinking. In their case, Anglican thinking. But there's something which comes there from if you like, a spiritual position, which clearly drives them into this kind of sense of service and human good. So there's that in the early 20th century. It's not the only motive, but it's partly there. Henry Mansfield and so on as well. In the mid 20th century, you then get a much that seems to be displaced by, again in the same, by a lot of what you might call sort of for want of a better word, sort of neo-Marxist kind of. I'm thinking of Raymond Williams and the like. I'm not sure who the like are in this case.
But Williams will do.
Yeah, I mean, I think Raymond Williams writes a book called that writes a book called The Common Good. That's the kind of concept that he's using. You find it. So what is it? And clearly, all these people are engaged in some way in some sense of public service. That's the kind of underpinning. Practice that they're engaged in. Some of them see it as coming out of religious theology, blah, 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 in some sense, although not. So it's also closely related with most of them to some sense of the dignity not simply of work but of labour. That's and I think that isn't. Or no, I mean the other names I've stuck down here are Marx, who's something you mentioned, but Morris and people like that. So if you could take it back to the 19th century, you get the same kind of thing.
Exactly.